Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall-Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing day. I'm excited to be connecting in with you. Can you believe it's December already? I was a little shocked when I came to the end of November and flipped the calendar, and oh my goodness, we're in December. It seemed to come very quickly for me this year. And as I'm talking with people, I'm finding that seems to be common, that December is coming really fast. There's this acceleration, and I'm finding this increased need to remind ourselves to breathe, to mindfully, purposely slow down just a little bit, one breath, one moment, 1 minute, to center, to connect in, to be poured into, to listen, to receive. No, I am thrilled that we get to have this next hour with you as we have an opportunity to pause, to slow down. We are honored to get to pour into you during this busy season, and I want to encourage you to choose to be fully present so you can get the most out of our time together today, because this show is for you. We want to empower you, we want to support you, and we want to encourage you, especially during the holiday season. It's an opportunity to really do some reflection, really look at being present during these special moments and traditions that we have or are creating, and look ahead in the coming year and how are we choosing to show up in all of that. Today's show, I have amazing guests who are going to give you some tips and insights, some great resources that can support you through the coming year, some great tips on how to stay balanced and present and focused and real during the holiday season so it doesn't just pass you by, but you can mindfully be present and enjoy. As I'm just thrilled to have all of you joining us today, I encourage you to take a moment and let's just slow down together as we connect in heart, mind, body, soul, and spirit. Taking a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, almost like you're pressing air out through a straw. Beautiful. Feel your lungs expand. I always feel stretch when I take this moment to deeply breathe with you. I feel just that room being created within you as you breathe out. So keep breathing in and out. That as you're breathing, feel all that air, oxygen, support coming in, filling you, expanding. And as you breathe out, you're releasing all that no longer serves. This helps bring your stress levels down, your cortisol levels down, helps you become truly present. It creates room and space for you to be open to receive, all within 1 to 2 minutes of slowing down and breathing. So as you're enjoying this moment and deep breath, I encourage you to put both hands on your heart, feeling that beat of your heart. Close your eyes. You're absolutely safe. Take another deep breath, and as you do, ask the question, what is it I need today? What is it you need today to support you, encourage you, empower you? What do you need? Or what are you being reminded of? Let's just take a moment to receive that beautiful information. Great. So let's take a breath. Come back to the room. Eyes open, fully present. And take a moment to write down what was laid on your heart. Let's really become present to that information, that insight, and start creating it, bringing it into reality by writing it down, keeping it top of mind so that you can glance at your paper throughout our time together today, because our goal is to help support you and to help real time shift some of that for you in a positive way. So at the end of today's show, I hope that you have some great tips, insights, reminders, some additional tools for your toolbox to help you navigate mindfully, powerfully, and purposely throughout the season and throughout the coming years. So with that, I'm going to go around our virtual room and have each of our amazing guests just share when they took a moment to stop, pause, and listen what was laid on their heart. So with that, Seema, I'd love to start with you. What was laid on your heart?
Oh, thank you, Rebecca. What was laid on my heart was just that this is an amazing tool, the exercise we just did, to become present. So anytime I'm feeling a little off or nervous, or I'm going into that holiday moment with others, I can just take a step back, breathe, and become present and become more grounded. So I've got this. That's what God was laid upon my heart, that I have this. I have the power.
Yeah. I like that. I've got this. That's beautiful. Wonderful. And we can miss those messages sometimes that are so empowering because we're moving so fast. We're not listening. So right. I love that you heard that message and that important reminder. Beautiful. Bethany, how about you? What was laid on your heart?
For me, for today, sorry, my voice is so scratchy today.
Aww.
So for me, it was to just stay focused on what's right in front of me today and take a day to rest and relax. And just, be present right in the very moment that I'm in.
Oh, I love that. Really being present, and not worrying about yesterday, tomorrow, but just being present today.
Yeah,
I love that. Yeah, and the second by second, moment by moment. Exactly. I love that because it can feel so heavy and a lot of pressure when we're looking too far ahead, even sometimes in the current day. So,
yes.
Beautiful. Beautiful reminder. I love that. Really being present and focused on the moment. Not trying to carry the next moments in this moment. Beautiful. I love that. Listeners, how about you? What was laid on your heart as you took a moment to stop, pause, and listen? Perhaps some of what Seema and Bethany have shared have echoed with you or added to that as we go to our first commercial break, and those commercials are playing in the background with updates and information we want you to know. I want to encourage you to choose to be present. Resist the urge to rush and cross things off your to-do list. Stay present. Give yourself the gift of these 2 minutes to listen, to be present, to breathe. And we'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
Explore the poetry of Sam Yao. His book of poems, Soul's Journey, is a #1 international bestseller. Sam is a contemporary poet with a unique and highly relatable poetic style to convey the essence of spiritual truths for our time. Readers will find beauty, inspiration, and healing in his words. Get his book, Soul's Journey, today on Amazon.com or visit SamYaoPoetry.com. That's Sam, Y-A-U, Poetry.com.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Rebecca Hall-Griter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall-Griter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and that opportunity to just be. I know it always feels so rich, and I feel so centered after just taking 1 to 2 minutes to breathe and be present, and sometimes even noticing things around me that I don't always notice in the hustle and bustle. I may be noticing leaves on a tree or how the light shines through a bird. It can be all different kinds of things that I suddenly notice on a new level. And in that noticing and becoming present, it calms me and it helps bring peace to me and a new perspective as I'm shifting forward. I'm more open to the flow and to receiving. So I want to encourage you throughout our time together today to take advantage of those 2-minute moments and use them as an opportunity to process the information that's being shared real time so you can integrate what serves instead of adding it to your to-do list. We don't need more pressure or more things on the to-do list. Here's an opportunity to add in, breathe in, integrate on a cellular level what serves, breathe out what you no longer need. So I encourage you, use those times throughout the show. They are exquisitely designed for you to serve and support you on your journey. And with that, I'm really excited to introduce our first amazing guest. You got to connect with her on a heart level. Her name is Seema Jerry, and she shared about really being present and breathing and that she's got this. Like, that was the message she received in the opening segment. She is a podcast host, a #1 international best-selling author. She uses her unique personal testimony and her extensive experience to tell her story and help others share their stories too. Through her Share Your Brilliance as an author program, and her over 20 years of experience, she has helped nearly 100,000 leaders move forward in business and life. She's helped over 50 authors become #1 international best-selling authors and is passionate about helping you break free to your brilliance. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful and dynamic Seema Jerry to the show. Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much, Rebecca. That's such a amazing way that you announce your guests, and I'm so happy to be back. Thanks for having me back.
You are welcome. I'm thrilled to have you back. It's always a treat. So I'm glad you feel welcomed and really looking forward to our conversation. And I wanted to start with why this work that you do through your programs, through leading, through books, through helping others bring their stories forward. Why is that work personally so important to you?
Oh, wow. Well, that's a great question. Well, the primary reason that it's such a important work for me, Rebecca, is because we live vicariously through others' stories. So I want to bring forth stories of possibilities, of transformation, of how people, when they thought they couldn't make it, persevered and found a way to make it happen. I think in the last couple of years, these are the kind of stories that we really, really need to see what's possible for us. And if I hadn't heard amazing stories of others' healing and transformation, I think I may not have healed myself from being bedridden with 3 types of autoimmune disease. And the doctors told me that was going to be my life forever. And because of these stories, I knew that I could challenge them and believe in myself and listen to my gut and move forward despite all odds. And that's what I want to do for others.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And you do have such a powerful story and journey. And I love that others poured into you and encouraged you, and their stories were inspiring to you. And that led you to go on your transformational journey. And now you're reaching out and helping others on theirs. And I just celebrate and honor that. I thank you for the work that you do. And I wanted to talk a little bit about one of your upcoming projects that you're working on. And one of the ways that you help is as a compiler, so leading an anthology or a book compilation where there are multiple authors that you are leading as the compiler to bring that book forward. And you've got one of those coming up. So I'd love for you to share a little bit about your upcoming book. I know it's launching in just a couple weeks, so I'd love for you to share the title and what the vision of this book is, why you're excited to bring it forward.
Yes, Rebecca, it's called The Art of Leadership, Leading Confidently in Any Season. And of course, it was inspired with what's been happening the last couple of years. I've seen leaders just pivot and persevere and continue their business and their life and really be focused. And that is what I want to share with others, like how leaders in your own backyard, how they have been able to lead their teams, lead their business, lead their family, and lead themselves in times like this. There's a normal business cycle, and then there's cycles like what we've gone through a global pandemic. How do people excel at times like this? So there are wonderful stories from various leaders sharing what they have done, their lessons learned, their wisdom, and giving that guidance to others who can do the same.
So powerful. I'm excited about the book, and you're absolutely right. There are normal business cycles, and then there's what we've gone through in the last couple of years, and what have they discovered, and how have they been able to thrive in that. And boy, we can really learn powerfully from people who are leading and navigating in that way. So I'm excited about it. Yeah. Art of Leadership. And I love how I could tell your excitement as you shared the title. Like it came through beautifully and powerfully. Love that you're excited and proud to bring your book forward. So when is the book launching, and are there any important details around that date that our listeners should be aware of?
Yes, it is launching on December 16th, so just in time to, get your Christmas gift. If you're wondering what to get, a book is a great way to give a gift and show how much you care. It's only $1.99 for the first 24 to 48 hours because we want to make it accessible to everyone globally.
Beautiful. So December 16th, I hope everyone heard that, wrote that on the calendar, $1.99. It'll be available on Amazon for those of you who are wondering, that's great, where? I'm ready. So you want to write the date down. And she did share 24 to 48 hours, so it is time sensitive at that special rate. So I encourage you to put it on your calendar, have a reminder. I know Seema will share at the end of the show the way you can get on her list so that you're sent a notice, as the book's coming out, if that's supportive of you. She'll share that towards the end of the show. But I encourage all of you to watch for it. We're going to be helping promote and share it out as well. I've had the opportunity to read an advanced copy and see and read and experience many of the stories and the chapters, and they are very thought-provoking and inspiring and insightful. So I am excited for the book. I know it's going to serve in powerful ways. So any of you who can take advantage of that special rate, $1.99 for 24, maybe 48 hours, starting on December 16th, I encourage you to watch for that. It'll be shared out on social media and available on Amazon. And I was thinking as you were speaking, great holiday gifts. I love that idea for those of you who are wondering, virtual stocking stuffer that can help, which is a great. But books like this are so inspiring and really pour into us and expand our thinking and help us. I think, like your transformational journey, start to question what maybe should be questioned and really discover our path and our journey and our way. And with that, is there anything in particular on your heart when you think about this book and you're thinking about the holiday season, a tip or advice you'd give to help people stay balanced during this season and on purpose?
Yes, to stay balanced, especially during the holiday season, Rebecca, I recommend understanding what your triggers are, knowing what they are when you're going into different situations during the holiday time and meeting people that you don't see in a while, and having a strategy around that. And, maybe it's your spouse pulling you out of the situation, taking you to another room or going outside to take a deep breath. Have a preparation plan before the event and then a recovery time afterwards. So then you can just shake things off and relax and recoup. That's been always a strategy. And, you're a leader. Whether you're running a company or not, whether you have a business or not, you are a leader and you're leading yourself in situations. So you're always in control. I want people to remember that you're a leader no matter what, and you're always in control. You can change the situation to your favor. So keep that in mind.
Beautiful. Great tips, great advice. I appreciate that. As we get ready to go to our next commercial break, listeners, I want you to think about that reminder that you are a leader. And you do have choice, and you can choose how to shift. And I'm even thinking with what Bethany shared earlier that, focus on the moment. So this moment we can choose how we're being, how we're going to be. I love preparing in advance for things that are more triggering, that we have a plan around that. So if we're going to be in situations during the holiday seasons that are more sensitive or stressful, or we just kind of get triggered, think about that ahead of time and put up a plan for success. I love that, whether it's having someone, a spouse, significant other, tap you on the shoulder so you can both take a little walk, take a step outside for a moment, whatever it is to disrupt the trigger to put you in a more empowered place, I think is really, really great advice as well. So remember that you are that leader and that you can tap into resources like what SEMA is making available on December 16th to support you on that leadership journey and really choosing how you want to navigate through the holidays, through the upcoming year and beyond. And with that, I encourage you to enjoy these 2 minutes, and we'll continue our conversation in just a moment.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN.
Rebecca Hall-Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message. It's time to serve, learn, change the world. Tune in each week for the power of young people to change the world. Hosted by NYLC's CEO, Amy Mewers. The program is a forum for both young people and the adults who love and support them. We make connections with others through stories of change, partnership, and new perspectives of issues facing the world today. Be sure to join us every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and 3 p.m. Pacific Time, or anytime on demand on the Voice America Empowerment Channel.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and took an opportunity to really feel into that important reminder that you are a leader and you can really choose to be present, to move forward in empowered ways. And I think it's great to build support like this program and resources to pour into you to support you on your journey. So thank you for being here with us. And I'm honored that we get to connect in with all of you and pour into you. And I'm excited to introduce our next amazing guest. I know you're going to love her heart and her spirit. So Bethany L., she loves God, her family, and her work. She's the founder of Agape Celebration, a #1 international best-selling author, a speaker, a blogger, an event planner, and a facilitator. She has been married 40 years, has 5 children and 7 grandchildren, and is passionate about sharing about God's transformational power. Please lean in and warmly welcome the wonderful, dynamic, and inspiring Bethany L. to the show. Welcome.
Thank you, Rebecca.
You are welcome. Excited to have you. We are continuing to send soothing, supportive thoughts to your throat and appreciate you.
Thank you.
Leaning in, so I hope you feel us lifting you up in that way. And I'd love for you to share a little bit about why you're so passionate about helping people in this way.
I am passionate about helping people because of my own life journey. And kind of like Seema said, we live vicariously through the stories of others. And I think that God has blessed me with a journey that can really help other people come out of situations that are holding them down, because that's what He's done for me. I want to give strength and hope to others.
Beautiful. Do you mind sharing just a snapshot for people that aren't familiar with your story? I think it'd be wonderful if they got a chance to just discover a little bit about you, if you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, I grew up in a home, of an abusive home. And as I grew into adulthood, I really began to experience complex post-stress traumatic syndrome. And I tried all kinds of things to get help. Through the church, through therapy, and I just worked at it for years, but I never really got to a place where I could overcome it until I was able to come to God and just be completely out there with him and ask him for the help that I needed. And he really led me to a place of healing.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it, and I am sure that your journey and that struggle is resonating with some of our listeners as well. And I think it's important that we do talk about our journeys and that we share the hope and the transformation that is possible and available as well. So I appreciate that, and I celebrate that you found that support and that God came alongside you and has brought you forward in all the ways that he has. One of the things that I know, you're an author, so you have brought forward multiple books, and both as a co-author and as a writer of your own book. And there's a book, and I'd love for you to share the official title and a little bit about it, that talks about real. So I'd love for you to share the title of that book and what does real stand for with your book.
Yeah, my book, I Am Real, that is my memoir. So it's a slice of my life about having flashbacks of the childhood trauma that I went through and all the different places that I sought help and how those just did not turn out. Some of them ended up being abusive situations themselves, and the only person that I could really talk to was my husband. But he too didn't know how to help me. And so I finally got on a healing journey through being real with God. And for me, that meant being rooted in the foundation of who God is, and in turn being rooted in who he says that I am. And by doing that, it really empowered me to move outside of what was not true for my life, and to be empowered to live in a place that was true for me, for what he said, and also to be authentic. I learned, okay, I have to be authentic right now, today, with the people that I meet, with God, and with myself. And by following those steps, I learned that how loved I am and how capable I am of loving others.
Yes, I love that.
So rooted, empowered, authentic, and loved is what real stands for.
So rooted, empowered, just for anyone who's taking notes, authentic, and what was the last one?
Loved.
Loved. Beautiful. So I'm giving everyone a moment to just kind of sink into what you shared. And I think there is such a hunger out there for people to be real. I think sometimes we feel lonely and isolated and separated because we're not only sometimes more physically separated than in past years, but we also aren't always pulling back the curtain and being real with each other. And I think one of the shifts I've seen is that with that hunger and that desire and the pressures of what everyone has gone through in the last couple of years, I feel like there's more of a shift and desire and openness to being real and being authentic. And I love how you found that helped you discover how loved you are, and being rooted and connected with God and with yourself really empowered you on that journey. So I'm curious, as you're out there in the world and people are reading your book and you're having this opportunity to blog and facilitate and interact, are you noticing some of that shift, or is there some additional comments you'd like to add to that?
I have noticed a shift like that of, I would call it a curiosity on how to begin the journey of being real. Because I think a lot of times, at least for me, even now, sometimes I'll be very real about something, and there's not necessarily the response that I'm hoping for. And in the past, when that would happen, I would be, well, I'm never going to do that again. I didn't get the response I was looking for. But instead, to have the attitude of this being real and being authentic, it's not about the response that I receive from somebody. It's about how God can use that to grow me and to really help me be just even more of the person that He has created me to be. So it's about a connection with Him, and it has really nothing to do with what might be happening in the circumstances around me.
Mm. I love that shift, and then not being quite as attached to the response being the way it should be.
Yes,
a little more freedom in that. I love that.
A lot of freedom in that. Yes.
Yeah, that's powerful. Powerful. And as you're seeing this shift and you're applying your beautiful acronym, Rooted, Empowered, Authentic, Loved, Real, are there some tips that you would give us around daily habits or practices to help us remain real during the holiday season? And as we're looking ahead at 2022, any of those evergreen tips that can support us as well, I'd love for you to share with us and give us some insight on that.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is about learning to walk day by day and developing some habits that create that rootedness. And for me, rootedness is really the first step, because when I become rooted in a foundation that is super strong, then it gives me the ability, it empowers me to focus on the day-to-day tasks, to not be anxious, to not worry about, oh no, what's going to happen, or how is it going to be, or, what are people going to think? And it eliminates a lot of that stuff, because I know where I stand. My feet are firmly planted. And even with that, it gives me the courage to be authentic. It takes away a lot of the fear, because fear drives so much of our pain. But if that fear doesn't exist, then my day-to-day life is very peaceful.
I love that. So really choosing to be firmly planted, rooted. I sometimes will call it grounded, centered. That really building that, I think, not only helps the day flow better as you're describing, but I also think it helps us weather storms. And because we have roots, we're rooted, we're planted firmly. So as those storms or surprises come along, we're able to weather them. It doesn't knock us over. And I love how you're sharing. It also makes you less afraid, less fearful, because you know who you are, you know where you stand. And that clarity is really powerful. Anything you'd add to that?
I think it also, what I have noticed with that kind of growth, and it's a continual growth. You never stop. Every day, this is something that I have to look at and I think about and I practice. But it draws people to you. They're curious as to, why are you so peaceful in this situation? And especially with the holidays, where they can be very chaotic, they can be just very easy to get distracted off of that rootedness in Jesus into, what am I going to buy for everybody? That kind of stuff. How am I going to get all this done? And there's just so much hecticness all around. But I love how all of that can be happening, but it doesn't have power. It doesn't have to have power over us. Like you said earlier, you can choose to be in control.
Yes.
And that is just what I love about being rooted in something bigger than myself. because it empowers me to do it.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that, and that reminder that I always think sometimes when I'm feeling that pressure, because I feel it too sometimes, I go, the day is not in charge of me. Let me take a moment, a breath. I wrote the schedule. Wait a minute.
I can scratch some of the stuff off.
Exactly. It is not in charge. Wait a minute. That helps me kind of, and laughing, when I can joke around also, I find that shifts the energy for myself, and I can refocus and create the new plan, because I love to plan going forward. I love that. Oh, I wanted to take a moment for many of our listeners who are getting to know you, and you have all of these beautiful resources. We're going to talk at the end of the show of how they can connect and where to go. But I wanted to have you share a little bit about who are the types of people that you feel like would be served by the books that you're part of or that you've written, the resources that you have, just so they can be listening in and lean in. And we'll let them know how to lean in after our commercial break. But I'd love for you to share who you feel these books were written for that would be served by them.
Yeah. Well, first, anyone that has struggled with any kind of mental issues, especially post-traumatic stress syndrome. And, I think that's a really hard thing to talk about when you're walking through it, because there's just so much in your mind that needs to be sorted through. And so I would say that, but I would also say, family members and church leaders, because that was an area that was very painful for me as I tried to get help with church leaders, and it did not work out well. Mm-hmm. And also people that are counselors, they can see the patient's point of view and also understand that this is, not that they don't understand that, but in my situation, it turned around to be a real negative thing. Mm. And so I think it would be helpful for counselors just to read that from a client's point of view.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for sharing and joining us today. I appreciate it. We are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do that, listeners, I want you to think about all that Bethany has shared with us from her journey to really discovering the real acronym: rooted, empowered, authentic, and loved. Really taking a moment to reflect on that and see, are you rooted? Are you being authentic, empowered? Like, take a moment to feel in and further center, and we will continue our conversation in just a moment.
Voice America is on your favorite smart speaker. If you have Alexa or Google Home, go ahead and give us a try.
Hey Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast on TuneIn.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You need to live up to your full potential. You've heard that for years, but now there's a channel to help you get there. Introducing the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Our listeners have told us that they want to be motivated, hear about success stories, and positive encouragement around the clock. And we've responded to you. The Voice America Empowerment Channel is the home of the world's top life coaches, entrepreneurs, and success experts. Listen to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. It's here at voiceamericaempowerment.com.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Find out what makes the most successful people tick. Keep listening to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and found that supportive. As we bring our show to a close, we're going to have each of our amazing guests share their contact information so that you can go deeper. And we're going to let you know where you can find their books, too, if that's something that's pulling at your heart. We want to let you know how to be able to connect in with them on that level as well. And what I would encourage you to do at the end of today's show is take a couple minutes, 2 to 5 minutes, just for you, to take a look at what is on your list if you're a list person, or what's kind of coming through the rest of today, and then really choose if that is still the plan for you today. Is that still how you're going to navigate the day? Are there some things to take off? Are there some things to add on? And are you allowing yourself time to be present in the day as well? So really see where you're led. Take those 2 to 5 minutes to breathe deeply. And if the plan is still the plan, great. You're going to approach it with more oxygen in your system and peace as you step into the day. And if it's shifting a little bit, you'll have had a moment to look at that and shift course a little bit as you're led. So with that, I'm going to go around the room, have our guests share their contact information and any final tips. So Seema, I'd love for you to share, how can people go deeper, connect with you, and continue to build a relationship with you?
Yes, they can reach me at my email, Seema, that's SEEMA, at SeemaGiri.com. Or even my best-selling book with Seema at gmail.com. And my website is Seema Giri, SeemaGiri.com. And if they go to the website, there'll be a free gift for them called 6 Reasons to Use Anthology Books to Build Your Authority. If people are wondering, how do I get into this, or how is that beneficial? And my other books, including The Art of Leadership, is going to be on Amazon, so they can always check things out over there.
Wonderful. And any final tip or reminder for our listeners today?
Yes. No matter what the situation, whether it's holiday, non-holiday, any season, you've got this. You are a leader in your own right. Remember that, and tune into your wonderful wisdom that you have internally by taking a breath like we did earlier in the show, and you've got this. You can make it happen.
I love this. I'm going to hear that echoing in me throughout the day. You've got this. Love it. I love the feel, the energy, but I'll hear it in your voice. So thank you, Seema, for sharing. And Bethany, I'd love for you to share, what is the best way for people to connect in, go deeper, be able to follow you beyond the show?
My website, it's BethanyL.com, and email Bethany@BethanyL.com.
Perfect. And then if they are interested in getting your book or the books you've been part of, what's the best way for them to find that information and be able to add that to their list?
They can find all my books on Amazon, or also on my website, BethanyL.com. And also my book, I Am Real, is on Audible.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Multiple formats. I love that. Great. And then do you have a final tip or reminder for our listeners today?
Yeah, I would say just as soon as you open your eyes in the morning, send up that prayer asking God to show you how to be rooted on this day. Ask Him to empower you, to enable you to be authentic, and to show you all the people that love you.
Beautiful. I was thinking even before the feet hit the floor. What a beautiful prayer.
That's right.
to have.
Also,
and
on my website, if somebody buys my book, they can enter the promo code Get Real and receive the devotional Get Unmasked for $1.99.
Oh, nice. Great. Thank you for letting us know. And that promo code again, one more time?
Get Real.
Perfect. So anyone taking notes, I want to make sure they have all of the details and information. Thank you for sharing, being available, and to really share from your heart and share your story and your wisdom and things that you have learned on your journey. So I want to thank you for that and being with us today. Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Rebecca.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I was thinking, as we are in the holidays and our guests have offered some beautiful gifts and made them resources available to you, I wanted to share about something as well. And I wanted to offer this to any of our listeners that this will serve. We have a magazine that we publish. It's a digital magazine, and we release it 6 times a year. And we just released our holiday edition, which was on November 15th. And it has great articles in it, tips from experts, processes and things that can support you during the holiday season. And I'd love to send a copy to you. So if you would like a copy, please just send me a quick email and saying, please send me the magazine, and I will. You can send that to Rebecca@yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Rebecca@yourpurposedrivenpractice.com, and myself or my team will make sure that we send a copy to you to enjoy and support you during your holiday season. You're welcome to share it out. It is our gift to you, and we hope that it empowers you to have a mindful and joyful holiday season and a powerful start to 2022 and beyond. And I was thinking, one of the things that we're doing as a team, I was sharing behind the scenes with Bethany and Seema, one of the things that we're doing to kind of lift spirits and encourage is most of the meetings with our teams, as we're meeting or as I'm having conversations with clients and authors and hosts, we take a moment and we just pause and breathe together just for a minute to slow down and just really connect, because things have been racing so quickly in the pressure. And then when we finish the conversation or whatever it is that we're working on together, we end it with going, yay team, or celebrating, or great job, something to celebrate that moment and appreciate it together. And it brings a smile to our face. It lifts the spirits, and it gives you that little boost to continue on. So during the breaks behind the scenes, for those of you who aren't there with us behind the scenes, we're doing that great job or yay team, and taking a moment to cheer each other on. So I want to encourage you. That's my tip for the day, is to encourage you to find those moments to cheer each other on, find those moments to connect authentically, really choose to take a minute to support yourself and those you're connecting with by pausing, slowing down so we can really connect and breathe. And start the conversations of the project from that place, or whatever it is that your task that you're doing. And then as you come to a completion or a close, do that celebration or that cheer, that moment, and smile, laugh, cheer each other on, and let that give you that boost to carry you to the next thing that you are doing or choosing to step into and be. I hope that you have an amazing rest of the day. I'm very honored to have spent this time with you. I hope that you've added some great tips and tools to your toolbox to support you on your journey, both today, this week, moment to moment, and throughout the coming year. So Enjoy and have an amazing week. Remember that you are a gift, beautifully and wonderfully made. There is nobody else just like you. And the biggest gift you can give the world is more of you, sharing your gifts, your talents, your inspiration, your perspective truly is a gift to those around you. So wherever you go, whatever you choose, I hope that you choose to bloom where you're planted and shine. Have an amazing week, everyone. I'll look forward to talking to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter, next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, with a replay on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Variety Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.